In a small village nestled in the mountains of Japan, a group of elderly gentlemen gathered regularly. They would sit in a circle, exchanging news, telling stories, and, most importantly, drinking tea. These gatherings were more than just social events. They were a cherished tradition that bonded the men together. Among them was the oldest member, Mr. Sato, a wise man with a gaze that reflected wisdom gathered over many years. The group had a particular fondness for tea, and one of their favorite pastimes was to search for rare and costly varieties. They would experiment with different blends, hoping to create the perfect cup that would surpass all others in taste and aroma. One cool afternoon, it was Mr. Sato's turn to host the gathering. The men arrived at his home, eager to see what he had in store for them. They knew that Mr. Sato had a reputation for his exquisite taste and meticulous preparation, and their anticipation was evident. As they settled into their seats, Mr. Sato began the tea ceremony with great respect. He moved with a grace and precision that only years of practice could achieve. He brought out a golden container, which glowed in the soft light of the room. Carefully, he measured out the tea leaves, ensuring that each portion was exact. The tea was served, and the gentlemen took their first sips. Their eyes widened in delight as the rich, complex flavors danced on their tongues. It was unlike any tea they had ever tasted. They murmured their appreciation, each one eager to know the secret behind this extraordinary blend. One of the men, Mr. Yamamoto, could no longer contain his curiosity. "Mr. Sato," he said, "this tea is truly exceptional. Please tell us the combination of leaves you used to create such a delightful brew." Mr. Sato smiled, his eyes twinkling even more brightly. He set down his cup and looked around at his friends. "Gentlemen," he began, "the tea you find so delightful is not a blend of rare and expensive leaves. It is, in fact, the same tea that is drunk by the peasants on my farm." The room fell silent as the men absorbed his words. They had expected some exotic and costly mixture, yet here was Mr. Sato telling them that this extraordinary tea was the simplest and most humble of all. Mr. Sato continued, "You see, the finest things in life are neither costly nor hard to find. They are often right in front of us, in the everyday moments and simple pleasures that we take for granted." The men nodded, reflecting on the wisdom in Mr. Sato's words. They realized that their search for the perfect tea had led them to overlook the beauty and value of the ordinary. From that day on, the gentlemen approached their gatherings with a new perspective. They still enjoyed their tea, but now they appreciated it for what it was, not for how rare or expensive it might be. They learned to find joy in simplicity and to cherish the humble moments that made their lives rich and meaningful.